Good morning, beautiful people. It is time for the next park on this epic 2-week European adventure, and I would like to welcome you all to Phantasialand. I am on the balcony of the Charles Lindbergh Hotel, where we are staying for the night, and it is just surrounding F.L.Y. The music's kicking on, the park is about to open. So, full disclosure, this is going to be kind of a messy vlog. We're filming this over the course of 2 days. You're going to see a change of clothes. And even more full disclosure, this is our second day. We had an amazing day yesterday. Chaotic morning. We'll explain that later on in this video. This is one of the best, most themed, and prettiest parks in the entire world. It's small in size, which is great for my leg, but there is so much packed in to a very small space. All these roller coasters, unbelievably themed. Again, growing up as a Disney fan and becoming a roller coaster fan, this is the kind of park that is right up my alley. We're gonna have a great 2 days here. Hopefully get on every single roller coaster, some of the other amazing rides here. Phantasialand, I actually made it to Phantasialand, everyone. This is incredible. Let's freaking go. Y'all saw Rookberg first. Now it's time to give you a proper introduction. Wait for it. To Cologne. Taran in the flesh. What will be my 600 roller coaster. Let's go. Taran's behind me, guys. That's actually Taran behind me. The Cologne area. This is surreal. Oh my God. This thing looks so beautiful. It's Taran, a 2016 intimate multi-launch coaster. I have heard about this ride for almost a decade, so the fact that it's finally here is absolutely amazing. You look at the stats, only 98 feet tall. Does have 73 mile per hour speeds though. The comparison is Maverick. No inversions though. No inversions. It's all about speed and airtime. Listen, I don't need inversions for a coaster to be excellent for me. So I think Taran, for me, could still potentially be a top 15, top 10 roller coaster. It has so many overlaps with this track. I forgot what the actual number is. I'll look it up for the review portion. But Taran is one of those rides you hear about, one of the best in Europe. It's one of those rides as an American at least, like, oh, what's the best of Europe? And then you see videos of Taran, POVs of Taran, you're like, oh, I gotta get on this thing. Unbelievable setting. The rock work, the set designs of this attraction is just unbelievable. You hear that beautiful, intimate launch track. And guys, guess what? This is actually gonna be my 600th roller coaster. That is a number I could not even fathom hitting even 2 years ago. The fact that 600 is happening on such a beautiful coaster. I wanted it to be F.L.Y, but unfortunately not open, at least in the morning. I've heard good things about it reopening later. So it's gonna be Taran. I'm not complaining. A beautiful looking roller coaster. I'm sure it's gonna be beautiful to ride as well. So let's get in line and do that exact thing. I just rode Taran, guys. We just rode Taran after an almost 2-hour wait. It was posted at 75. I don't know it is slammed today. It is so slammed. Not the best start to our morning so far, with F.L.Y being closed and an almost 2-hour wait for Taran. That being said, what row did we ride in?
First.
Front row, baby. Usually there's a front row line that says 45 minutes. It was blocked off. So we just went in the regular line and said, hey, can we ride front? And he's like, yeah, you can go right now.
Yeah, he moved us immediately to the front, which was super cool.
That made the 2-hour wait a little more bearable.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely more worth
Yeah.
it. I knew bare minimum going into this. I really enjoyed all of it. It was punchy.
So many people here today.
By the way, today it's slammed. We checked into Charles Lindbergh, and the guy at the front door was like, "There are so many people. I don't know why."
It's a Thursday. It's a Thursday.
He's like, it's normally not this bad. So, yay, we brought the crowd with us. You're welcome.
Yeah, it was bound to happen at some point. But yeah, this ride, let's start off with a slight con. It was not as speedy as I thought it was going to be throughout the entire ride.
There were definitely some moments that lagged a bit,
Yeah, I was like, this is kind of like a family coaster. Like, let's pick it up a little bit.
Yeah.
The second launch it picked up a bit, for sure. I had so much room. Some of those airtime points, like the transitions, oh my God, I flew out of my seat. I don't know how much room you had, but...
There were some moments where I was like, I know I'm not going to fall out, but I kind of feel like it a little bit.
A little bit. I mean, the surrounding area is just insane. You don't know which direction you're going.
I had no idea what was happening, and that was really fun. Also, very long.
Yeah, almost 4,300 feet of track.
Yeah, it takes a while to get around it, and there were a couple moments where I'm like, I'm not complaining, but when is this going to stop?
Yeah, the way it dips into like the trenches, the lefts and the rights, you have no idea when it's going to end.
Also impossible for me to keep track of what train is going where.
No, yeah, it's hard to... Off-ride is very hard to film. We definitely need more rides.
Yeah.
We are either going to single rider or we have to get some quick queues.
Yeah.
Everything is over an hour wait.
Yeah.
It's awful.
It's not great.
We are here 2 days, so you're going to see 2 different shirts, and it might be a mishmash. Just deal with it, guys, all right?
You might see 2 different shirts.
You will. Taron's great. Gun to my head right now is not top 10, probably top 25, but it's not going to be. It's not better than Hyperion or Conda for me. You would agree on Hyperion?
Yeah, I would agree.
Nope. More rides?
Maybe might need more rides. Hyperion's phenomenal, but theming's a really big thing for me, so this is definitely taking the cake in that department.
Not even close.
Which might bump it into, I don't rank, but if I had top 10 potentially.
Okay.
Or just outside of it, like top 15.
There we go. More rides on Taran though. Don't worry. You probably wouldn't be able to tell, but these are actually 2 different roller coasters. The one on the left is Taran. The one above it is Reich. And that's the boomerang system for Reich. The way they're interwoven in this section is unbelievable. So cool. We are now entering the African section of Phantasialand. Of course, you know it's themed like crazy. And hey, that's being a member. That's Black Mamba. In the background there is the Hotel Matamba. That is another one of 3 resorts that you can stay at here. And I believe like you get F.L.Y access with Charles Lindbergh, you get Black Mamba access at Hotel Matamba. Unbelievably themed. So good. So this day has started out so bad that Megan actually went off to wait in the guest relations line for quick queue, which that line was probably 45 to an hour. I'm currently in line for Black Mamba. Posted wait time 80. It's 2:30. I've ridden 1 roller coaster, and we got here just after park opening. One of the worst starts to a park day that I've ever experienced. We better have redemption tomorrow, or Phantasialand is not going to have a good taste in my mouth, unfortunately. Park I've been dreaming about coming for 7 years now. So welcome inside our room from the Charles Lindbergh Hotel. It's tight quarters, for sure. There's Megan. This is the room. It is a little guy. We got the 2 beds. It does have some light AC, which is good. We heard it might be a little warm. There is some AC in here. It's not too warm inside. The bathroom behind there. But why do you stay at the Charles Lindbergh? You might already hear why. You just step outside, literally 2 steps outside. F.L.Y is right outside our room. That is absolutely incredible. This is got to be one of the only places in the world where you can literally stay right outside the walls of a roller coaster. Except for maybe Hotel Matamba, also here at Phantasialand, and that's outside of Black Mamba. This is amazing. All the walkways here of this hotel just surround F.L.Y. It just went right over my head. This is absolutely unbelievable. After dinner at Charles Lindbergh, we decided to get a little tasting board of some brews. And the view, I mean, come on. It's all around us. I wish the train was actually going now. The park closes at 6. What I would have killed for some night rides after dinner and some drinks. Wouldn't you agree? Beautiful.
Yes, I actually would for once.
Highly recommend the 1919 bar at the Charles Lindbergh. It's exclusive to Charles Lindbergh. After park closes, you can only get in here unless you stay at Charles Lindbergh, and you are literally just surrounded by F.L.Y. It's unbelievable. What do you have thoughts, Megan?
No, I had a flight.
So that is where you check in, Charles Lindbergh. Walk down this hallway, elaborately themed. And then, again, F.L.Y. Just chilling here. Amazing thing about Charles Lindbergh is, you know, if you've ever been on a walk-back tour from a park where you get to go underneath the track and in the infields, this whole hotel is the walk-back. That's what's amazing about Charles Lindbergh. And then you just wait here. There's Megan. More F.L.Y. And then literally you just walk into the park and you're already inside, steps away from your room. It's pretty amazing.
No, if you're staying here, you do have to check in with the guy right before the stairs to go down.
Yes.
Your first day, definitely do it. He has some good information, and then every day after that, that's just their security measure.
Just gonna scan your ticket. And then you can't tell, I'll show some from later, but that is actually the exclusive bar of Charles Lindbergh, 1919. Unbelievable views of F.L.Y. Again, the coaster is just surrounding you, or you're surrounding the coaster technically. This Rookberg area is absolutely incredible. I cannot get over how cool and steampunkish this area looks. Custom soundtrack, of course. There is just so much sensory overload here in Rookberg, and this is just one area of Phantasialand. Phantasialand. I'm gonna probably keep bouncing back and forth between the pronunciations. But this is the restaurant that you can eat at as a park guest, but if you are a guest of Charles Lindbergh, that is where you get your complimentary dinner, your complimentary breakfast, and the food is actually very, very good. So to get into Rookberg and also out of Rookberg, it's a very Diagon Alley-esque entrance where it's very hidden from the rest of the park. And then you get outside, and it's just completely different theme, but still unbelievably beautiful. Look at that carousel. Look how detailed that carousel is. Double decker. This is, oh man, already more peaceful than yesterday. Once again, I'll tell you about how yesterday went. All right, so you did see some video from yesterday. It was a Thursday, today's a Friday. We got in, what, around just after 10, which is when the park opened. Yep. It was as busy as I have ever seen a park. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, the only thing that I think was worse was like Tokyo Disney, and I think that's saying something.
Or Universal Japan, that was pretty bad too.
Oh yeah, no, Universal, either of those two.
The issue was that it was like 99 degrees Fahrenheit the day before. We're thinking everyone just waited out, and then everybody came the next day when it was like 75.
At least that's what we're hoping. It is just after 9. Park opens at 10, so I think we'll have a better idea in a little bit after an hour. But it's not slammed yet. It's not like there's a ton of people streaming in, so I'm kind of hoping that it's at least a little calmer.
Yeah, the wait time boards said it was 75 for Taran. Everything else was 50, 60, 70. It was every single good attraction. Yeah. We waited 2 hours for Taran. That ties my record for the longest I've ever waited for a roller coaster.
And then that's the longest I've ever waited.
Probably. And then over an hour for Black Mamba. We rode 2 coasters and by 3 p.m. The least productive morning I've ever had. I think you'll admit I got a little testy those first 4 or 5 hours of the day.
Yeah. To the point where I popped in the customer service line or the guest relations line, and I got us a couple skip the lines. By the way, the wait at the guest services was like almost half an hour just to buy those.
Absolutely insane day.
And I got the last 2.
Yeah. We got really lucky. They were. Yeah, so this is why, if this is your first visit, this is 1,000% a 2-day park. Do not just play in one day if it's your first visit, because you could have run into that. If we only had yesterday, we would have left very disappointed. Yes. So. And most people that we talked to about it, when we were like, why is it so slammed? We're like, we don't know. Yeah. Normally it's not. It was a Thursday, so. But I would allocate maybe an extra 20 or 40 euro just as a backup emergency fund, because if you do come in and it is slammed, you might want to get like a quick pass plus just to make sure you get on Taran, or not even Taran's got Black Mamba, Colorado Adventures on it. I think Winges, both sides of Winges.
Yeah.
And then F.L.Y, thankfully, staying at the Charles Lindbergh, you also get to skip the lines for F.L.Y.
Yeah, if you're not staying at Charles Lindbergh, the only way to get F.L.Y is to wait in that line.
Yeah.
So I would say if you're not staying there and you want to get it, queue up immediately because it's 9:15 and there's already at least 3 trains.
Speaking of queuing up immediately, should we go to our first coaster?
Yeah.
Apparently they have a really cool dark right here called Mouse a Chocolate. It's themed. It's Megan. She's a little mouse. Apparently it's like Toy Story Mania, but themed to chocolate and a mouse. So let's go check it out. Here we are after walking through a pretty long queue. Look, the guns are like icing bags for pigs and stuff. I love it.
I stole the camera. So far, I'm 1 for 1 for shooting games while we're together in Europe. So we're gonna see if I can keep that streak up at Chocolate Mouse because it's me.
All right, we just got off Mouse a Chocolate. Megan, do you remember your score in that game?
It's like 99,000.
Oh, see, I had 96. Sorry, 196,000. That's what you get from talking trash, baby.
Well, hold on. Yes, you won. I talked trash. I shouldn't have. But as a little bonus for me, for most of the game, I only had a third of his score. And then in the last 2 screens, I made it up to having a half of his score. So that shows improvement.
Yes, you did win the last few rounds. But you see, you talk trash to me, like I'm going to win the next game. That's how it works.
This is why I destroy him.
I will say, if you like Toy Story Mania, that's better. 7 different shooting screens.
Yeah.
And there was actually like cool like set props too. There was some smells, I think.
Yeah, there's definitely some smells, set props, and just overall, it was just fun and cute.
Yeah, if it's under a 20-minute wait, definitely do it here.
You might want to do an arm workout beforehand, though.
Yeah,
I don't like those types of.
Very accurate. Yeah, my arm is a little bit sore. So we just came from kind of the main entrance area. Now we're entering into the fantasy area where you can find Winges and Crazy Bats. We did Crazy Bats and one side of Winges yesterday. I'll talk about those when we get there. We're gonna do a lineup for the other side of Winges. Every area here is just gorgeous. No corner left untouched. And now I'm coming to you from inside. It is a whole building for Winges. A dueling, not really dueling, but 2 different Mauer spinning coasters. They opened here in 2002. Both of the height, I think 52 feet. And they have varying different speeds, 37 miles per hour, 41 miles per hour. The 2 coasters are called Fear and Force. And they both have some tricks up their sleeve. I almost don't want to spoil. I'll say one little fact. There's an elevator lift for both of them. A very rare Mauer spinner. Maybe the only one in the world that has an elevator lift. Actually, no, Cobra's Curse. Forget that. But it's still a pretty rare element. And then there's some pretty good spinning in this thing. Some drops. And I've heard, like I said, maybe some little tricks here and there as well. So we're excited. We're going to do both sides. Get both of these credits. So Winges, that's actually really, really fun.
Yeah.
One of my favorite spinners, I think.
I would agree. I think I know we're not going to talk about them a ton, but the surprise elements that were there, I also had no idea that they were happening, and I encourage you to go into it with that. The same elements are there on both sides, so if you go for both credits, it's not like there's going to be a new surprise element.
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's a massive difference between Fear and Force.
No,
Pretty similar layouts.
I think you have to ride it a lot in order to form a solid decision on which side is your favorite.
True, we only rode one side of each, so.
But overall, I thought it was a really fun and enjoyable ride. I love the fact that it is inside a show building and that there's other things happening here besides just the ride. So there's like a little tower with like a little elevator
Yeah.
in the middle.
Getting very like the land vibes from Epcot here.
Very, very cute. I love it in here. And you were telling me some of the lore of this space.
Yeah, apparently it's like an underground town that are ruled by women. So.
Which is why I like it.
Very fair. Yeah, and the little tricks, they're nothing crazy. They're just silly. They make you laugh. They're fun. Winters is awesome. I would say, a good high 6, low 7. They're fun. The drops are really fun. Doesn't get you too dizzy. Some good helixes. It's an overall great time. Good job. Good job, Mara.
Nice job, guys.
As I slowly walk up this hill, it's time for some crazy bats. A virtual reality family coaster. What are we in for? No clue. So this is what you have to wear to ride crazy bats. Everyone's looking like a complete nerd in this thing. I have no idea what this ride does, but it should be interesting. All right, we're gonna do crazy bats all in one shot here. This is a virtual reality roller coaster. It opened in April of 1988. That is a great, great time to open, if you know what I mean. Yeah, this thing's been here for 37 years. I think it just became a virtual reality coaster in 2019. That's when it became Crazy Bats. It had a couple of other names. It's a Vekoma coaster. Now, we did just ride it. And the virtual reality, this is probably the Megan, you can get in here now. You would say this is probably like the cheapest of the Phantasialand roller coasters.
Yeah, it gives the vibe of like they updated it to VR, but they didn't update really anything else besides basic maintenance of the coaster. The queue is very cramped. There's no ventilation, and it looks kind of like a cheap theme park entrance, which is really disappointing when you consider how well themed everything else, especially a lot of the newer rides are. I kind of wish when they made it VR, they would have given the queue at least a little sprucing up.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. I mean, it's a cute ride. The virtual reality is very cute. The bats are adorable. But here's what I didn't know. So you're on that for a long, long time. I'm like, oh, we must be doing like 2 or 3 laps. But then I looked at the stats. No, it's 3,800 feet of track. Like that is actually one roller coaster the entire time you're on that. Yeah, super, super long. It only goes like 28 miles per hour. Nothing crazy. It's fun. Definitely do it.
It's a lot of fun. The one thing I will say, and I don't know if this is everyone's set, if it's just to like help disorient you, but I felt like my field of view was a little off, so there's a lot of times I was like turned to watch things. So if you have a very sensitive like neck, maybe just go into it kind of mindful of that. Yeah,
but otherwise, fun, cute, get the credit, move on. Yeah. I'd be willing to bet that many first-time visitors to Phantasialand doesn't even know this pathway exists. It's just off from the Fantasy. What, that boat looks awesome. Maybe we should do the boat.
Maybe we should do the boat.
See, I didn't even know there was a boat ride there.
Guys, there's boats.
This is a really peaceful and calm walkway in the hubbub of Phantasialand. What the heck? These are so well themed. Why are there like guns? This isn't like a splash battle, is it? So I'm gonna assume these guns do not work. This is not a splash pad. We're thinking that these used to be like targets that you can shoot. And it's now just a slow moving boat ride. Well, if your feet are hurting, like mine are constantly now, this is a good little break. So this is an insanely isolated area of Phantasialand. There's like pretty much a little hike that you can take back here. Obviously you get the boat ride over there. And then there's just like these absolutely dead paths that are, you're just surrounded by trees and nature.
And cute little sculptures.
Cute little, yeah, there's like trees.
Frogs.
And actually real ducks and goose. Yeah. This is very charming. You need a break. Try to find this path and get away from the crowds for a bit. Yeah. I am absolutely in love with this fantasy section of Phantasialand. Megan, this is like very you.
This is very pretty and I love it. I love the Art Nouveau style that they've incorporated into everything because I feel like not a lot of people do that and it's just so pretty.
Absolutely gorgeous. But it's time to head out of here. And it's getting a little sweaty. So it's time to ride some Chapas. Chapas. And we have made it to Chapas, which is their awesome looking flume ride. I've heard amazing things about this attraction. I've heard you also get pretty wet on it. Thankfully, it's pretty warm right now. The sun is out. I am very excited. Maybe a low-key top 4 attraction that I'm most looking forward to here at Phantasialand. This area is beautiful. This is in the Mexican section. See Black Mamba right there. That's in the African section. Ah, this ride looks gorgeous. Hey babe, you know what's ironic about this? This isn't the first time I've walked it with my injury in Mexico. I walked up Mayan ruins with the torn Achilles, by the way. That's right. There's our locks. We're gonna get wet. Chapas!
Oh my god, they got me good.
Yeah, that is definitely a soaker. Not even the big drop too. There's like multiple, there's a forwards drop, there's a backwards drop. They all get you splashed in varying ways.
Yeah.
My sneakers are absolutely soaked, which is not great.
Probably safest in the center if you're not interested in getting drenched, but even then, it's not a guarantee.
No, you're gonna get wet on this thing. You're gonna get wet. Splash Mountain's my zero flume forever.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, that's the best flume ride in the world. I would even take that over Dudley Do Right at Universal.
Yeah, I would agree. There was just a lot of like fun elements that you
Yeah.
went through, including like during like the backwards portion. So yeah, I would agree over Dudley's.
It's like a little dancing section, which is fun. The music's great. The ride's great. Forwards, backwards, long ride. Everything you want in a flume.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So good.
Yeah.
Do not skip Chapas. All right, while we're still wet, might as well do the rapids now. River Quest. Looks really cool from the small off-ride that we can see. 40-minute wait. Let's do this, man. Loving the look of these rafts. They all have like fat weights, not to be confused with the roller coaster. All right, we have completed the water ride gauntlet here at Phantasialand. River Quest. That was really fun.
I loved it.
There's like a super cool, unique, at least to me, I'm sure there's other systems around the world, elevator system.
Yeah.
Felt like Tower of Terror. You're literally in an elevator on a raft.
Yeah, they literally put you in the raft and they bring you all the way up to the top of the show building, and then you have to come back down.
Yeah, I thought it was like kind of more dark ride-ish, kind of more towards the floor. No, you actually go really high and then just kind of spiral down. 3 different drops. I think I survived the most of the people on our boat.
Yeah, you and I were pretty safe. The family across from us,
they got nailed.
Who spoke a little bit of English, so nothing bonds people like a raft ride.
No,
they
very
got
true.
Demolished.
Yeah,
all 3 of them. It was so bad.
The first drop's really, really good. You like spin, waves come out of nowhere. River Quest is fun. Chapas is the better of the 2, I think.
I would agree.
But they're both really great.
Yeah.
So I saw this going yesterday. I'm like, what is that elevator system right there on the left? That's actually for River Quest. That's where that's where they bring you up, and that's where the first drop is. So it's actually kind of 4 rides around here. You get the drop tower, you get the rapids, you get Reich, and then you get Taran below that. Next up, 30-minute wait, not bad for Mystery Castle. What's Mystery Castle? Well, let's pan over here and go up and up and up some more. It's a drop tower, and it's all enclosed. I know nothing else besides that, and I've also heard it's really, really fun. And apparently I'm a drop tower fan now, so let's do it. So Megan, when we were in the airport in Poland, we did some calculations about your credit number. And we had assumed going into Europe, we were in like the 260, 270 range.
I messed up.
Messed up a little bit.
A lot.
We thought she would hit 300 at Europa Park somewhere.
We did. We honestly did. So I thought I was in like the 260, 270 range. Apparently I wasn't. Apparently it was a little bit more than that because I hit 304 by the time we were done at Energylandia, which means unfortunately instead of Taran being my 300 or literally anything else.
We could have lined up potentially 600, 300.
Yeah, instead of anything here in Fantasyland or in Europa Park, it was Frida. The like midnight flyer kind of thing. Yeah. That's okay, you're at 300! And you're at like 307 now. So now we're working on the road to 365. 350 is fine, but because of my husband, I think my 365 has to be more important. So we'll see what happens with that. I do not think I'm hitting it this trip though. We do not have that many lined up for the rest of it. So I guess you're just going to have to keep tuning in to figure out when that's going to be for me. Mystery Castle. That is a tall drop tower. I'm going to assume at least over 200 feet. You're going to get some theming. So Mystery Castle, drop tower. That was kind of terrifying. So you can actually get a lot of people on that ride system. There's like 6 different cars of like 8 to 10 people. And they're all on the sides of the tower.
and it like shoots you up a little bit, brings you back down, intimidating music plays, and then shoots you all the way up to the top. And then the lights kind of turn on up there, and you see some of the other cars falling down while you're staying up there, which was such a cool, unique effect. And then, of course, you fall. It's scary. And I've heard, so it's like 12:30 right now. I heard later in the day it's actually a longer ride cycle. Taylor told me that. Thank you, Taylor. So maybe we'll check it out again if we don't have time. That was still fun. Are you a drop tower fan now?
Maybe. That was actually really enjoyable and not as terrifying as I thought it was going to be.
No, it wasn't the tamer side, I would say, for the drop,
The scream that I had was more of exhilaration than it was of terror.
Yeah, I call it Tower Terror on steroids because it's taller than Tower Terror, but a similar like drop feeling.
Is it?
What do you mean by that?
I didn't know it was taller than Tower Terror.
Oh, yeah, it has to be. It has to be. That looks like it's 200 feet up there. It's hard to tell. Similar effect though. Approaching now the Klugheim section where Taran is. Can't get over this rock work. Very Game of Thrones-esque. It's so beautiful here. So we're going to talk real quick about the ride behind me called Reich. Not sure how you pronounce it. It is a Vekoma family boomerang that I actually didn't know this. It opened the same exact day as Taran back in 2016. It makes sense. It completely makes up this Klugheim area, the same colored track. It's honestly hard to tell what track is Taran's and what track is Reich's. It's a Vekoma family boomerang though. Very, very small. Standard like 82 feet high, not too fast. Megan and I did ride it. Another credit on the board. So there is a single rider line, which we did take advantage of. Again, yesterday was so freaking slammed. We needed to do it. It is so much better today, guys. Oh my God, do 2 days. Reich is fun. You can see it going backwards right there. Not too much to it. I've actually felt going backwards was a bit slow. I even want to say I preferred the 2 family boomerangs at Energylandia. Obviously, the look of Reich is great. That's Taran. That was Reich. Coasters going everywhere around me. You'll love it as an enthusiast. You'll love it. But Reich, it's a good time. It's good that they have a family ride to match up with Taran. Yeah, get on. Get another +1. And go ride Taran again. Different points of track here. It just weaves in and out of itself like maybe no other coaster. Insane how they built this thing. That's the same train, by the way, from that one shot. Alright, got our 3rd ride on Taran. I think my opinion, we did single rider, by the way, about 20 minutes. My opinion stays the same. Extremely fun roller coaster. 3 really good pops of airtime. Love how we weave in and out of the rock work, especially after the second launch. By the way, the second launch is my favorite part of the ride.
I would agree, yeah.
And when you rise up like that waterfall right into the rocks, so good. This is not gonna even come close to making my top 10 though.
I still think maybe for me, top 25 is probably safest. Then again, I haven't been on nearly as many as you have. I've been on about half. So if I'm top 25, what?
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to, I'm going to do a whole list of this European trip, at some point later on in the year. I think it's not disappointing. It's weird because it has, moments where enthusiasts will flip out oh my God, that's great. But then parts of it, it's very family coasterish, I think.
Yeah.
Especially, after the first few airtime moments, before the second launch, it's very Cheetah Hunt-ish. And I can't believe I just compared Taran to Cheetah Hunt. There's a section that's like it. And then that hill looks like, oh, this is going to be a great airtime hill, and then there's a trim right before the ending. So there is some flaws to Taran. It's still excellent. Phenomenal roller coaster.
I love the interactions with the crowd. Sometimes you pass around and through and over.
I think there's 116 different interactions, intersections of the track where it goes either over or under it. Taran's great. Is it going to make my top 25? I don't know, but it's a phenomenal attraction. And I think most people can ride it, even if you're up there in age, and I don't think it'll scare the 6-7-year-olds too much either.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. I think as long as you're okay with a launch, do it.
Yeah, no inversions.
Yep.
Taran's awesome. fun little hallway in their Mexico section. They have churros that look amazing. I don't know if we're gonna get them. Maybe later. There's just so many beautiful, beautiful areas here at Fantasia. So here is Talacon, their top spin. It's down today, and it's really unfortunate because it looks really cool. It actually went pretty viral. The like water comes up and hits you, I believe. It's not a bummer for me to ride. I would never have ridden this. This is not my type of ride, but it looks so, so impressive. There's a reason it's won a bunch of awards. It's finally time to talk about some Black Mamba, what some people say is maybe the world's best B&M invert. It opened in 2006, only a height of 85 feet, 50 miles per hour, 4 inversions. They kind of dug into it. It's very similar to Nemesis at Alton Towers. A lot of trenches below the ground. It's not about the height, it's about the theme. You go all through this African section. Bunch of trenches, like I just said. Theming is just surrounding you on Black Mamba. Very, very excited. I've heard people say even the coaster itself is really, really good, intense, punchy. That's what I like to hear. I've been on a lot of B&M inverts. Over 20, I think, at this point. So I am very intrigued to see where Black Mamba ranks for me. Let's get a couple of rides. Maybe I've already ridden. So Black Mamba. So part of our frustration yesterday was after the 2-hour Taran wait, then we had an hour wait on Black Mamba. Back row, which was fun, forceful, punchy. Then we bought a second quick queue for Black Mamba later in the day. We were in like the middle or somewhere, I think.
Yeah.
We just rode day 2, front row. We got lucky.
Yeah.
Front row on Black Mamba. God, is that the most beautiful invert in the world. Oh my. It's a front row invert for sure. The way you weave in through those trenches, the waterfalls, you feel like you're gonna kick the waterfalls, you're gonna kick the rocks.
I'm sure it's stunning no matter the weather, but we have like the perfect amount of sun, and it felt like going through like the most perfect POV video the entire time. It was amazing.
So like as a pure coaster, this is what I was thinking about on that extremely steep climb up from the exit ramp. Is it my favorite pure invert as a coaster? I still think I'd take Montu. Probably Pyrenees, maybe Alpengeist, but as a invert attraction experience, that's my favorite invert. It's beautiful. It's so gorgeous. The way it's like just interweaving throughout this landscape. It makes Montu kind of look like Timu Black Mamba with all the like Montu's trenches are great, but it's not like that. I mean, unbelievable. And probably as far as from theming perspective, most I'd compare it to is Osiris, Parc Asterix, but nothing touches Black Mamba from the theming.
No, not even close.
The station, you get the music bumping, the climb. There's like little like effects that blow fog at you. Like you go through a building, kind of a Expedition Everest like. Black Mamba's awesome. Like phenomenal invert.
Top tier.
One of the best in the world. Yeah. There's your entrance to Hotel Matamba. You come out and oh yeah, Black Mamba is right there. That's pretty epic. Maybe we'll stay there next time we're here. Either that or Ling Bao. You can kind of see through the bars here. Black Mamba utilizes trenches like no other invert. Waterfall features. Most beautiful invert in the world. There's a fun little adventure trail that kind of goes through the layout of Black Mamba. I started to do it and then I saw there was like a rope that you gotta walk on. I'm not messing around with that yet. That's an Achilles re-tear ready to happen. So I gotta make smart decisions every now and then. So next visit to Phantasialand, maybe I'll check out the adventure trail. One last point on Black Mamba. I'd say most inverts, you feel the forces the most in the back, but because this isn't the tallest invert, and I don't think it's necessarily the fastest, I think it's actually more forceful in the front.
Yeah.
I felt it anyway.
I mean, I'm not a professional or anything, but I would agree.
Megan
He's the
agrees?
professional, so.
Yeah, but when Megan agrees, she's usually right all the time.
I'm always
so
right.
That's true. I made the joke. I'm going to make the same joke again. I started this credit challenge on a Colorado adventure. And the ride behind me now, here in Germany, is Colorado Adventure. A Vekoma mine train. A super long Vekoma mine train. 4,200 feet of track. It's Vekoma. It opened in 1996. I think Michael Jackson, it used to be called Michael Jackson The Thrill Ride Colorado Adventure, something like that. He actually opened this attraction back in 1996. So that's kind of cool. I've heard this is maybe the best mine train in the world. Very similar trains to Big Thunder Mountain, again, kind of like Calamity Mine was at Wallaby, Belgium. We've been on some pretty good mine trains this trip, but I think this one is going to top them all based on the reviews that I've heard. 85 feet tall. There's like 3 roller coasters here that have 85 feet of height. Black Mamba and Reich as well. But only 31 miles per hour, but I don't think it matters because it's a mine train. Mine trains are great, and this might be the best of them all. Colorado Adventure time. Let's do it. Colorado Adventure, that ride is mental.
Yeah. Why is that the best?
That is the best mine train that I've ever been on.
That is the best.
Over Big Thunder Mountain, even the one in Paris. Over Thunderation. That thing is so long. There's 3 distinct sections, one for each lift hill. First one, you're kind of in this show building. There's all this like, Navajo, American Southwest props in the bottom of the building. The second section, you go into another building, but it's like completely black and dark.
Yeah.
Incredible. I don't know if that's like supposed to emulate the mines or something.
That's probably the mines.
And then the third section is all outdoors, and you get super low to the ground. You get right to the grass. There's a waterfall feature. You get hit with a little spray of water.
It's like terrifying. Like, you're safe, but it's almost terrifying how close you're getting with going that fast. And I know you're, 35 miles per hour?
31, I think.
31?
It doesn't feel like it feels a lot faster.
No, it feels a lot faster. Wild to me that only has buzz bars.
You get airtime on this thing multiple times. You get kind of thrown around like a rag doll in certain areas.
Almost didn't feel safe. Well, it was safe. It was safe.
Of course it's safe.
But
in a way, you don't want to go full hands up because you might hit your body in places you don't want to get hit in.
My elbows, I had to at one point cross my arms and hold on so I didn't bang my elbow on the side of the...
That's very fair, yeah. Gorgeous roller coaster, gorgeous mine train. Colorado Adventure.
Love it.
In the top 4, maybe even my top 100 period. It's that good.
Wow.
We'll see. I've been on 607 now, so we'll see. Also, if we're doing the old scale, that's definitely over an 8. Easily. Probably 8.2 range.
Ridiculously high for a mine train.
Yeah, it is. Last section of the park that I haven't shown yet is the China section. And I think there's a ride here, like a ghost train. That might actually be themed to the Colorado section. But this is where Hotel Ling Bao is, the third of 3 hotels that you can stay here at Phantasialand. Let's go check it out. This is yet another beautiful, beautiful location here at Phantasialand. And I believe in the back there is the Hotel Ling Bao. One of the prettiest parks in the world, no doubt. It's time to do the ghost train. Oh my god, it's like dune buggies from Haunted Mansion. Our friends, shout out Barbara, said this was one of the worst rides she's ever been on. We also have a friend, Harry, you've met them both on this trip, that said this was the best dark ride in Europe. So we're gonna find out who is correct. It's literally the dune buggies from Haunted Mansion. That's awesome. We just did the ghost train right after Colorado Adventure. Harry, that was the best dark ride in all of Europe. Do you agree? Now, Barbara was right. Here's the thing. It was very, very old and cheap, but a long ride as I trip. A very, very long ride. Ton of animatronics, ton of show scenes.
Ton. I didn't know what was happening in most of them, but there was a lot of them.
It was themed to the China section here, for sure. It's very, very cheesy. Complete Haunted Mansion ripoff. They even have hitchhiking ghosts. Like the same exact scene. the same exact mirrors, except the effect is not as cool as the one at Disney. It's worth doing. It was a walk-on. Super long ride. It was like over 10 minutes probably. They had like a Pirates of the Caribbean like scene too. There are way worse dark rides.
Yeah, the ship was weird.
Yeah,
I don't know why that was in there.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. I am assuming Harry was being sarcastic.
Yeah.
I hope you were.
Please, Harry, be sarcastic.
We're making our way from the main part of the park into Rookberg. Now I can imagine if you're not staying at Charles Lindbergh and this is your first reveal of this land, your mind would be blown. Oh God, there goes F.L.Y. Just pure insanity. Everything. Just detailed to the nines. This land is unbelievable. I mean, come on. This is just absolutely one of the most beautiful looking roller coasters in the world. You cannot argue that. And you know what? Now is as good of a time as any to talk about the roller coaster behind me, F.L.Y. F.L.Y. It opened in September of 2020, a Vekoma flying coaster, a Vekoma launched flying coaster, first of its kind. The way this track interweaves between Rookberg and the Charles Lindbergh Hotel is nothing short of a masterpiece. 4,300 feet of track. Only 64 feet high, 48.5 miles per hour. Does have 2 launches though. And this is kind of a very secretive ride. There isn't any legal, anyway, POVs. And don't take an illegal POV. They try to keep this as hidden as possible. The way the ride loads is unbelievable. Again, super unique. I'm not even going to tell you about it. You got to get here to Phantasialand, see for yourself. But I'm excited for some F.L.Y. This is definitely a top 10, maybe pushing top 5 most anticipated credit on this entire trip. It's F.L.Y, guys. F.L.Y's behind me. Let's go take a ride. About it, but I barely mentioned it here at Phantasialand. The Credit Challenge, Legendia Park completion, Energylandia Park completion, now Phantasialand Park completion. What's the math on that? That is, I believe, 29 for 29. I think I am now at 74 since Lagoon. 16 to go to get to 90. I think there's 13 at Europa and like 6 at Plopsaland, so I'm doing pretty good if I want to get to 90. I don't know how busy Europa's going to be, so maybe we missed some credits there. Plopsaland I'm not too worried about. Pretty decently long hours, and I think only 6 credits, so still I'm doing good. I'm doing good, guys. A lot of credits in a month, regardless. And we end this vlog at the same place we started, here at the observation deck of the Charles Lindbergh, overlooking F.L.Y. Speaking of F.L.Y, we got to talk about it. We got a total of 4 rides on F.L.Y over the last 2 days. Thank you, Charles Lindbergh. We get to skip for 2 of them. Every time we rode in like row 2, the very back, and then row like 8 and 7. It almost doesn't matter what row you ride because you're looking down. You're not really looking forward. This ride is an absolute masterpiece. The way they designed this coaster to weave through all these structures is nothing short of a miracle. It is absolutely breathtaking, you actually feel like you're flying maybe more than any other actual flying coaster. It is so much different than a B&M flyer. You're not getting that intense pretzel loop forces in your face. You're getting pretty good forces, don't get me wrong, but it is way more graceful. Flying through this incredible Rookberg section is unbelievable. The views are insane. Megan, she's chilling on the bench right now. I think she needs to leave her thoughts as well.
I do.
Fly. 4 rides.
Ooh, I think I like it more than I thought I was going to initially.
Okay.
The elements and a lot of those like near miss moments are very, very cool, and I love how integrated it is into Rookberg. I had some concerns about the restraints at first. Depending on the element, you kind of like feel it a lot in your chest, and a couple times it didn't make me feel too great. But I think overall it was a fantastic ride. Very happy we got to go on it 4 times just because it is so unique.
Yeah, there's like weirdly like different perspectives too, like things you might not notice flying through Rookberg. You get steam in your face depending on what row you're sitting in, which is really cool. There's like water fountains that come up that actually splash you a little tiny bit. The whole presentation, I mean, it starts out kind of like a little bit of a dark ride. There's some screen effects.
Yeah.
And then the way it, like, I don't want to give it away, but it does some cool things to get you into the flying position.
Yeah.
This ride is amazing. Definitely my favorite roller coaster here at Phantasialand. Probably top 25 too. I think it's still Conda, Untamed, Zadra, and Hyperion is still the top 4 of the trip. This is 5 for now.
That's fair.
Yeah, and it's amazing. The more I rode it, the more I appreciated it. Especially, and the more I experienced, we experienced Phantasialand as a whole after that start. My God, day 2 was so much better.
Yeah, fantastic.
So much more relaxing.
Phenomenal. You want to hear something crazy that I've been thinking about the whole time you've been filming? I think Taron's my favorite ride at the park. I think F.L.Y as a roller coaster is a better ride, but in terms of the setting and everything, I know we talked about the fact that the ride itself is a little underwhelming, but I love the setting of that and the near misses in that ride so much more. I think overall it would change my opinion, but as I said before, I am not the professional. I am apparently semi-pro. He is the pro. So listen to him. But if you're interested or you are an ally who is watching this video with somebody else who is an enthusiast, you might be more of my perspective.
And there are some enthusiasts that like Taran more than F.L.Y too. I think I get both. They're both unbelievable settings for both those coasters and Black Mamba. Really, every coaster here, the settings are insane. I like F.L.Y. I think it's just so unique. There's nothing like that Vekoma flyer in this setting. Yeah. And Phantasialand, my God, I can't wait to get back here.
Oh, can't wait.
Yeah.
When are we coming back?
We're gonna come back hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. And not hopefully have a day like we did yesterday with those crowds. More like today. So the next time you will see us, there's a pretty good, decent other park in Germany. You might have heard of it called Europa Park. That some people say is even better than Phantasialand. I know.
I know nothing.
2 days there. It's our last 2-day park. Voltron is happening soon, guys. Love you all. Goodbye. From Phantasialand, you're all the best.